Absolutely, another great day at the Solomon Trading Institute, powered by Money Market Edge. As always, if you want to know more information, go ahead and go to www.moneymarketedge.com. Listen, you should also book a call if you have any questions about what we're doing and how we're doing it. I think it's important to make sure that you understand that there is risk involved in trading. I think it's important that you understand that also that there are a group of people who are doing this successfully. And I think that it would be a wise thing to find out, to get involved with those group of people, or with that group of people, to see exactly what they're doing. I think that would be smart rather than just simply dismissing it. Now, the bottom line is this, is that wealth is a choice. And as I always talk about, there is a lot of money available in markets, and you can make some of that money. You have the potential to make some of that money when you learn exactly what to do. So today was $1,000 day again, $1,200 in our with our software that produced that. Produce the analysis for you to make those discretionary decisions. Now, today on the market, in our live tech room, we had to wait a while today because of what we call announcements, fundamental impacts. So today, as you can see, there was a red folder here. There was another red folder here, pre-market. During the market, there was a red folder here. And these fundamental announcements, they do have a tendency to impact the market to some degree. So what we do is we don't really care about what the announcement is. We don't care about the employment change in Canada. We don't care about the unemployment rate in Canada. We don't care to know exactly what this consumer sentiment report is saying. We don't really care to know about any of this. FOMC member speaks, we don't really care about what he's speaking about. That's not important to us because we're not fundamental traders. So when you look at a market, there's two ways to analyze a market, okay? The first way to analyze a market is fundamentally, right? The other way to analyze a market is called technical. All right, so you have technical analysis. Both of these are analysis, right? You have technical analysis and you have fundamental analysis. So what we do is we have technical analysis, but we have this technical analysis on steroids because we're using mathematical formulas within our software to give us an edge. So that's why we call it Money Market Edge, the software, right? So that is what kind of tips the scales for us a little bit. And so I was an athlete, played sports, and I was good at it, really good at it. And I remember talking to my dad one time, and we were talking, and there was a team that was losing. And he and I were talking, and I said, man, they're going to lose again. He said, son, do you know why they're losing? I said, no, not really. He said, because they keep doing losing things. And that was so simple, but it was something that stuck in my mind, and it became a paramount colloquialism in my mind as I matriculated through life. Because he said, if you look at it, losing basketball teams do losing things. They turn the ball over. They don't defensively rebound the ball well. They don't get after loose balls. They don't contest shots. They lose their men in rotation. He said, losing football teams. He said, they fumble the ball all the time. They throw the ball to the other team by way of interceptions all the time. They miss tackles. They miss assignments. And that thing, he said, if you look at it, anybody who's losing in anything is because they keep doing losing things. It's not their intellect, it's what they do. So the reason we win is because we do winning things. And one of the winning things that we do is we make sure that we understand the fundamental impact in the market. Also, we make sure we understand the conditions before we enter. We make sure that we can interpret the intentions of the institutional leadership. We make sure that we know exactly where the market should or should not be going. Those are winning things. In other words, we're not impatient. We can wait. And so today we had to wait. So as you know, we always talk about our periods that happen between 8:30 and 9:25. Now, this is the optimal time that we want to get involved, right? Well, but because of the fundamental news announcements today, they took an impact on the market, kind of slowed it down a little bit. That means we had to wait. So our first opportunity didn't even come until 9:45. Our next opportunity didn't even come until 10:12. The next opportunity came at almost 10:30. So now, if you have to wait to make thousands of dollars in a day, I think it's just wise to wait. So that's how we are winning, because we do winning things. First of all, we're not ignorant. We read our announcements. Number two, we're disciplined. Number three, we're patient, right? So number one, we are informed. People talk about all the time, you can't, nobody can win in the market. The informed guy does. The informed guy wins. Then we're patient. Nobody can make that money in the market. The patient guy can. The patient gal can, right? Nobody can make that kind of money in the market. The disciplined can. The disciplined person can. See, those are what I call winning things, winning. So winners are winners because they do winning things. Losers are losers because they do losing things. They're uninformed. They can't wait to learn. They have to make a lot of money immediately. They're impatient. I know I'm supposed to wait for that, but I'm impatient. I can't wait. And then discipline. You know that if the market is going the wrong way, that you have to wait until it turns around. You can't try to trade against the momentum of the market, right? That's called discipline. So the uninformed, the impatient, and the undisciplined lose money. The informed, the patient, and the disciplined make money. It's really, really just that simple. So it's not a magic trick to make money in the market. So here is a trade that I did in progress. So, when I trade, I have two targets. So target number one has already been taken out in this instance. So this is what we call a runner contract that's hanging on. And so I dropped down to the MENQ because I wanted to take a picture of a trade in progress, and I wanted to mitigate my risk because I was semi-distracted. Because you have to understand that if I'm pressing a button to record, recording and talking and trading all at the same time, somebody may think that, hey, look, that's a distraction. Well, it is a distraction. So what I did was I just mitigated my risk and traded just a small amount. But what you can see is this move is in progress. I'm going to teach you what we do right now. Number one, we identify what we call changes of character in the market. So the market sometimes makes lows and makes lower lows and makes lower lows, but when it makes a higher low, what does that mean? That's a change in the character, right? Once we see that, then we know we have institutional involvement. The next thing that we want to see after we see this line and we see this change in character, the next thing that we want to see is we want to see some manipulation in the market. Here's the manipulation that takes place in the market. It's an absorption of the seller and a trapping of the buyer. We'll teach you about all of that, but that's what we recognize. And then number four, what we have to have is we have to have confirmation, right? And that confirmation of the momentum happens on this chart. You see this red rope that I'm tracing? We want to see that the market closes beneath that, right? And once it closes beneath that, then what do? We look for our entry. This is step number 5 after we find our entry, and the entry is what we call a nameable pattern. This entry is called a layup. The reason we call it a layup is because in basketball, that's the easiest shot. This is easy to see. There's an impulse leg, there's a pullback here, and right in here is where the entry took place, and bam, look at what happens. Money is just being able to be made. So why is this so successful? It's successful because this is based on statistics. It's based on reversion to the mean. It's based on average true range, things of that nature. So the software is able to pick up when the momentum is happening, and it gives us a sign. The screen begins to turn red. You see how that screen turned red? The screen over here turned red, right? So we have all of these absolutes that we're banking on. So now, hey, look, you can do this. You can do this. And the thing about it is that why do so many traders fail? So scientists, they did an experiment to find out why so many traders fail. So I wanted to give you an opportunity to read that. Look at these statistics. Only 7% of people who try to trade remain after 5 years. 80% quit within the first 2 years. Quit. 40% trade only for 1 month. And here is the problem. All traders start with the dream to get rich quick. And because you have that dream, you find yourself impatient, ignorant, uninformed, because you didn't go through the classes, impatient, ignorant, right? Because you're uninformed, and then undisciplined. Right? That's what happens. So when all the traders start off with this pipe dream of getting rich tomorrow, tomorrow, no. This leads to only trading for a month. This leads to 80% quitting after just in the first 2 years. And this leads to only 7% remaining after 5 years. But out of that 7%, only 1% of the 70% are successful. You have to be informed, you have to be patient, and you have to be disciplined. Now, there's another caveat that's thrown in. Back when I started trading, back in 1997, 96, 97, 98, back up in that area of time, there wasn't much impact from technology or computers or algorithms or things of that nature. So now you throw in being impatient, uninformed, don't really know how the market works, then ignorant, which is uninformed, and then undisciplined. And being undisciplined rears its ugly head in two forms. One being greedy, and the other being fearful. Undisciplined. Uninformed, you don't understand how the market works. And what is it that you don't understand? Well, number one, you don't understand price, action. You don't understand supply and demand, right? You don't understand that. You don't understand stages of delivery. How is price delivered, right? And so because you don't understand that, and then on top of that, a part of you being impatient is because you're undisciplined, greedy, or afraid. And so that leads to impatience. And all of that leads to what? It leads to this. It leads to quitting after a month, quitting after 2 years, sticking around but still losing your money and never making it here. And so what we do, the whole problem is this. So we level set this in the beginning. In the beginning, you're not going to get rich tomorrow because you have to learn some things, right? You have to learn some things. And so what happens, this is what most people do. They start. They haven't learned anything, impatient and undisciplined, but they win a trade and win a little bit of money. Okay. But you cannot take money from professionals without being a professional. So therefore, you then, because you're uninformed, you're undisciplined, and you're impatient, you begin to lose, and then fear kicks in. And then before you know it, now you're drifting. Because now you're just all over the place in your mind, in your emotions, just all over the place. And then what happens is you probably quit. But what I hope you do, if you are a trader and you have been trading, that you won't quit, you will continue. And you will see that it's possible for this to start working. And then you can start getting back the money you lost, you can mature as a trader, and then you can experience success. This is what you can do. So, for example, we want to make sure you understand what you're doing, why you're doing what you're doing. Because when you do that, you can then begin to do what I call grow an account. Look, you could take $500 and you can simply make 3% per day because now you've grown. So we're talking about maybe 6 months to 1 year in. 6 months to one year to understand something that wasn't taught to you in high school, and it should have been, but it wasn't. So we can't cry about that. We can learn now, right? We have morning classes and evening classes. We have teachers, we have coaches, we support you, we walk hand in hand with you. Now, 1 month to a year, you can learn this, right? And once you do, then now you could take that $500, 3%. Now look at what that happened. Look what happens here. And look what it's done. You can take this, potentially take this $500. Now let me do this. I'm not promising you you're going to take $500 and do anything with it. I'm telling you hypothetically, this is a public site that I just went on here, the calculator site, and just pulled up this daily compound calculator, okay? So this isn't a promise or a guarantee of anything. What I'm talking about is just simply numbers that once you learn, you could take $500,000 and turn it into what? $1 million, right? By simply doing what? Now look, earnings breakdown day by day. See, you're not going to get rich in a day. You know, I hope you understand what I'm sharing with you, right? So $15 is not going to make you rich. But if you make $15 today, $15.45, and then you keep going, what is going to happen is you're going to get to the point where you're going to get down to a place where now in a day you're making 25K, and then here, right? So that's like a year from now. And all you have to do is stay on track and stay on schedule. So now, because you have this understanding, now you can be disciplined. Now you can be patient. Now you can let what you have learned kick in. I mean, what do you get with us? You get daily Q&A sessions every day. You get a software that gives you an edge. You get a strategy that gives you confidence. You get support that builds you up. You get coaches that help you and give you feedback. And then guess what happens? All of those things lead to success. Daily Q&A. This is a winning thing. This is a winning thing. That means I never go to sleep 2 days in a row without understanding what I'm doing. Software. This is a winning thing. If you're going to compete, then you need to have what the opposition has. Strategy. This is a winning thing. This is a winning thing because this strategy brings you consistency. You're not doing this tomorrow and that the next day, and then you're doing A on Wednesday, B on Thursday, C on Friday. No. This is a winning thing. We all understand that life will hit us. And just because you sign up, and just because you pay your money, and just because you decide that you want to change your socioeconomic status and plight, that life is not going to hit you. During the course of building this software and building this company, my mother died. A lot of things happen. Life happens, and it's the support that we have. So we become like a family. And then the coach's pledge. You have to have a selfless individual to help you with this. And our coach's pledge, this is a winning thing. That guess what? Our outcome is not more important than your income. We're in this to help you win, because every teacher that we have, every coach that we have, I personally taught them how to trade, and I personally spent time with them. So they are willing to give back and to pay it forward. You got it? Okay. And then that leads to success. Winners do winning things. Losers do losing things. I would love to have an opportunity to chat with you. Go to moneymarketedge.com and book a call, and we'd love to have a conversation with you. If you want to know more information, or you have a family, a friend, a relative, or a church member, or a sorority or fraternity member, or what have you, that want more information about this, you think they would benefit from this, and you want to be a good friend, well, guess what? Have them text 94253. Ask them to text the word profits with an S. Don't forget the S. And guess what? A link will come to your phone. You'll have an opportunity to look at that, and you'll have an opportunity to learn what we do. Hey, listen, it's the will of God that you prosper, that you be wealthy, and that you be healthy, and that you enjoy life on earth until you get there. Hey, listen, God bless you. Have a wonderful day.